You're welcome to this video. My name is Herbert and today we'll be talking about why we lose money testing ads. Almost every day we test ads and in this testing process we lose some amount of money. And why do such things happen? And if you're a beginner, how can you avoid maximum loss of money which can then lead to waste of money? Remember that there is a difference between loss and then waste, and I'll be explaining that in this video. Now, if you are a beginner, the first reason why we lose money testing ads is because of one, testing and scaling. Now, the testing means that we are now trying to know what is working and what is resonating with our target audience. So, if you are not able to test, what that means that you don't know what is doing well and what is not doing well. So, this is the process where we test a creatives against a creative, or we test multiple creatives, we test multiple offers, we test multiple ad copies, multiple objectives, targeting to know which one is bringing the best result. So at this point, it may seem like we are losing money, yes, and you are losing a bit of money, but you are not losing money, but you are losing money to contain information. This money that you are losing will give you more valuable information that will increase the growth in your business. Now, one thing I want you to know that you cannot go to the scaling phase without testing. Yes, you cannot go to the scaling phase without testing your ads. Testing enables you to know what is working, and then you can leave behind those that are not working and then concentrate on the ones that are working so that you can make profit when you are scaling the ad. I hope you get me. That doesn't mean that you are losing money on then all the ad, but you are just losing money on getting people to actually come to you. I hope you get me. So that's one loss that you make in running meta ads. So if you are not able to understand this concept that testing is different, scaling is different, you confuse yourself and then you think you are making a big mistake. It's not a mistake. At this phase, there is some loss that happen, and this loss rather helps you. I hope you get me. Now, the second reason why we lose money while testing ad because we are paying the learning cost. Now, which one then is the learning cost? Because we have rather tested ad before and now we are now paying learning cost. I'll be explaining the learning cost to you in this. Now, if you are somebody that has been running ad in the clothing niche or the fashion niche and now you are moving to the real estate, you will need to pay the cost to learn what is working. What is working in the real estate may not be what is working in the fashion. So since you are moving to the real estate, you need to have that information. So that information, one, will be in the form of market education. This is where you know the customer patterns, what customers want, what customers respond to. This is the time that you learn all these stuff from the ads. I hope you get me. So this period too, there'll be a certain level of losses, and these losses are also learning losses because you are able to learn to know the behavior of people and how they respond to such a need. Now, the second cost that you are paying within the learning cost is the data before profit. Now, you are paying for data, you are paying for information. So, if you are in the learning cost phase, you have to pay and acquire information from the ad that you are tested. It means that the information you are getting from the testing cost will help you to be able to scale. You can make profit during the scaling process. If you are not able to obtain such an information, it will delay your process. You may be looking for profit early, but you may not be able to get the profit that you are looking for. I hope you get me. Now, last one is the cost for clarity. The cost for clarity is what you pay to actually understand everything and know where you are moving to. I hope you get me. So the cost of clarity is something that you also pay within the learning cost. So these are three things that you pay within the learning cost. Now, the third thing that may have effect on your ad is what we call the bad testing habit. Now, the bad testing habits are habits that we develop whilst we are testing our ad, and I'll be exposing some of these habits in this video. Now, a lot of us, when we start running ads, when things are not doing well or when things are not coming as we go, we make some of these mistakes. First one is that you kill an ad so early. One of the things that we do is that when an ad is not doing well within 24 hours, then we kill it, right? We kill the effort in that ad, but which is one of the mistakes that we can make. If you are on a low budget, then 3 days at least is good for testing to what works. 3 days is good. If you have a very large budget that you have dedicated for testing, then 7 days will be good. It's not just waste, it's teaching you what is working. An ad may not be performing well in the first 2 days, but after the first 2 days, such an ad will be the best ad ever you experience. So killing an ad so early because it's not able to give you results while it's still in the learning phase will actually cause you a lot more problem. So test ad and you get the best result, and test it within a very good period. Do not cut the life of the ad short because you are not getting instant results from the ad. Second bad habit that we develop is actually changing everything at once. When the ad is not doing well, we think maybe it's the creative, so we change the creative. The next one is not working, we change the ad copy, we change everything, headline at once. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. One thing that you must do before checking or changing anything in your ad is actually consulting the ad metrics. The ad metrics tells you a lot whether the ad is attractive or not. If it's not attractive, then you can start changing the creative. If the creative doesn't change anything, then you can start changing the headline. These are things that you do gradually, not things that you do just within one day and expect change in the performance of your ad. I hope you get me. So these are things that you must understand and know before you start running ads, looking for sales or leads. So these are things that you must know. Third bad habit that we develop is testing without any clear objective. The testing phase, what we do is that we test an object against an object, right? So we are testing, let's say, an headline against a headline. We are testing a creative against a creative. We are testing something against something. So what we are doing is that we're trying to know which creative is resonating more, right? Which headline is resonating more, which ad copy is resonating more. These are things that we are trying to do whilst we are testing the ad. So if we are testing but we don't have any objective what we are actually testing, then we are losing money doing that, and that money is not lost, it's only you are wasting it in that process. I would say you are wasting money in that process. So these are things that you can do to prevent that. Test an objective against an objective, test a creative against a creative, test a headline against a headline to save you a lot of money. Next one is changing budget with unproven ads, right? Ads that do not prove to give us any result because we want to see how it behaves when we put more money on it. You have to put more money on this ad rather, thinking that when you put more money on it, it will reach to a lot of people and things will change. If an ad cannot perform well with less than, or let's say with $5, then don't think that ad will perform well if you give it $10. These are things that we must know. Yes, you can take the risk and see the result. These are things that you must know. So if an ad is not working well, you must get it and give it time for you to see what will happen. Will there be any change within first 7 days of running such an ad? These are things that you must note before running an ad. Else you'll be losing money, which will not just be a lose, but you'll be wasting money also. The fifth bad habit is actually letting emotions take control of you. Emotion is one thing that you must kill anytime you want to run meta ads, because you are going to see a lot of things that will bore you. You can run an ad with $20, you have not gotten one lead from me, but you can run another ad with $5 and you get 20 leads from me. So what are we trying to talk about? Do not just cut it off, or do not allow emotions to take you off, but rather consult data. That's why the ad metrics are there. Go and check. Is it that the ad is not attractive? Is it that the ad is not reaching the right audience? Is it that this age range is not resonating with the ad? What you do to set it up or correct it, that's what you do. Do not say because it's not doing like this, it's not going as I wish, so you go and off it or go and make adjustment that will not give you a good result. These are things that you must note before you make any changes with your ads, and these things will cost a lot of people money. It costed me money before and I have learned from it. Now you too do not do it because it will cost you a lot more money if you do it. That's why I'm creating this content to educate you so that you can avoid taking such a route when you're running ads for businesses. The fourth thing that is costing you a loss is when you allow loss to translate into waste. We'll be talking about that here. Now, the first habit like that is when you're not tracking results. You're running an ad, you're not able to track the results, you're not checking metrics to know what is going on, and the next thing that you do is that you make changes. Wow, you are not just losing money, but you are wasting money on ads. These are things that I want you to understand. Losing money is different, because when you lose money, it's expected that you'll be able to understand what is happening. But if you lose money without understanding what is happening, then you are wasting money on ads. These are the principles that I want you to understand. Second thing is when you do not review results. You do not review results after you have run the ad for yourself. Qualify the list. Is this list coming good? Is this coming doing well? How are they responding to the offer I'm giving to them? These are things that you must know before pushing your money into ads again. I want you to understand that ads are good, but if you are not able to review the results you are getting from ad A, ad B, ad C, then you will not be getting results. You are rather wasting money on ads. Some ads may appear very cheap, but they will not have quality results, or they are not bringing you quality leads. So this is what I want you to know when you are running an ad. Now, the fourth thing, and when you translate loss into waste, is when you are not able to correct your mistakes. After all this training, someone is still going back to where it's coming from, and they're going to consume the same content without actually paying attention or making any necessary change from what they have learned. If after consuming this content, all you do is to skip to the next one and go and repeat the same mistake that you have been making, then you are not losing money again, but you are rather wasting money running meta ads. I want you to understand that. So this training, all the things that you have seen that you have committed, or in a way that you have faulted, start listing them down and start correcting them. Else you can watch thousands of videos, but if you don't take action, you will still be repeating the same mistakes that you have made before. The fourth thing that will make you translate from losing money to wasting money is when you are running an ad hoping instead of testing. A lot of us run an ad hoping that this ad will bring us results, meaning that you are not basing our ad on things that you have learned before, things that have happened, or good things. So this is what I will say: track your results. If you use an ad copy today, it has worked for you, write it down. This ad copy worked. If you use a headline today, it works, tag it down. Next time, use it on the ad. What happens is that if you are not able to do all these things, you'll be losing a lot more money on ads. Ads are not supposed to let you lose money. Even if it let you lose money, you should be able to learn from it and correct such errors. Else, you'll be wasting money on ads. These are things that I want you to understand if you're a beginner in meta ads. Else, you'll be losing a lot more money. I want you to lose money, but if you lose money, then it's information from that knowledge that will help you prevent further repetition of such a thing. So don't run ads and be hoping. Run ads whilst you have proven systems that know that yes, it has worked for Ama. So if I do the same thing, it will work for Kojo. Sometimes it may not work like that, but it helps you avoid just hoping and use your money to test things that will give you results. Hope I'm not confusing you. If you find this content helpful, I am Herbert and I talk about meta ads and how we can be able to use meta ads to increase our sales and visibility online. Do well to follow my channel and subscribe so that you get more data from me. I have a lot of videos in my description. Go check them out. It will be very helpful to you. See you